Duality is a dungeon in Destiny 2. To play it, you'll need up to 3 players that own either the Witch Queen Deluxe Edition or the 2022 Dungeon Key. This complete dungeon guide moves very fast. Use screenshots, chapters, and playback speeds to make it work for you. To prepare, here are 3 major mechanics in the dungeon. Bells. Deal damage to a bell to activate it and switch the dungeon between reality and nightmare states. When switching from nightmare to reality, any players not in the small ring around the bell will be killed. Bell Keepers. These special Cabal Incendiors must be killed to enable a bell to function. In most encounters, they appear on the opposite side of the space to the bell they disable. Standards. These holographic icons can be picked up after killing standard bearer enemies. There are 4 icons: sun, axe, dog, and cup. Dunk them in the standard receptacles bearing the same icon. The Descent is an introductory section that teaches players how the bells operate. Drop into the hole and walk up to the grate, shooting the distant bell to switch into the nightmare state. Approach the bell and shoot it to switch back. Proceed through the platforming sections until you reach a large circular room filled with enemies. Kill all the enemies to open the floor, then drop in. The Sorrow Bearer is the first encounter. To prepare, tune loadouts to quickly clear clusters of adds, but have high damage heavy weapons and supers ready. This long hallway has a bell at either end. Ring 1 to enter the nightmare state. Galran the boss is immune. Ignore him for now. There is 1 open room in each of the 4 corners of this space. 2 rooms hold several war beasts and a Scion standard bearer. Kill the bearers, collect their standards, then kill the bell keepers. Return to the same bell and activate it, returning to reality. Here, the 4 corner rooms are closed by standard receptacles. Dunk the collected standards in their matching receptacle to open the door, releasing some enemies. Have 2 players enter the open rooms, then ring a bell. Players in the rooms must cross a long hallway filled with 6 shades of Galran, all much weaker than they appear. After all shades in a hall have been killed, a door will open at the far end. After 12 total shades have been killed, the damage phase begins. Deal as much damage to Galran as possible. Return to reality before the timer reaches 0. Repeat this process until the Nightmare of Galran has been killed. How to fail. The Nightmare collapsing timer is present every time the Nightmare state is entered. If the timer reaches 0, the fire team will wipe. Its duration can be extended by killing standard bearers. Continue platforming through open spaces and winding hallways, activating switches to extend platforms where needed. You will reach a room with 4 statues of Galran, all facing the same direction except 1. That shared direction is the front of the room. In the Nightmare state, the statues all face the center, and each statue has a button that rotates its reality counterpart 90 degrees counterclockwise. Rotate the right statue twice, the front statue twice, and the left statue 3 times. Then, return to reality. A door beneath the bell will open, drop in to proceed. The Vault is the second encounter. To prepare, maintain similar loadouts to the first encounter, and assign 2 runners and 1 gunner. The boss is immune. Ignore him for now. The center platform is a circle with 2 standard receptacle projections. Each of the room's 4 corners hides a standard icon. Runners wait in the corners matching the projections, then ring a bell. There are now staircases leading to rooms with statues of your standard. Runners clear all the adds in these rooms to spawn a standard bearer centurion. Take the standards, then return to the bell. Gunner, kill the bell keepers located opposite and below each bell, awaiting the runner's return. Return to reality, dunk the standards, and begin damage. Attack the boss until it dies. Repeat twice to clear the encounter. How to fail. In the Nightmare state, the center platform is replaced with a big hole. Do not fall into it. The Nightmare of Caiatl is the final encounter. To prepare, review the map. There are 3 bells, left, right, and mid, 4 corners, 1 for each standard, and 4 standard receptacles, each by a big gold chain. Prioritize damage resistance builds, equip high damage heavies and supers, and tune loadouts for ad clear, prioritizing solar damage. The boss is immune. Ignore her for now. Kill the bell keepers and review the standard projections by the gold chains. Switch to the Nightmare state, collect the standards, and return to reality, killing 4 bell keepers instead of 2. Dunk the standards. Repeat this process until 4 standards have been dunked. Next, assign each player to a single bell location, then large crystals on the gold chains will glow. Break the crystals to switch to the Nightmare state and begin damage. Caiatl will appear at the front of the room, heavily resistant to damage. Each player must quickly kill their bell keepers, then look to Caiatl, who will begin walking towards a bell. If a player approaches Caiatl, she will stop moving to stop them, giving other players time to reach her target bell. Once she is near, ring the bell to stun her and give nearby players the Waking Resonance buff. Deal damage until the buff wears off, and repeat this process until she has been stunned at all 3 bells or until she ends the phase. Repeat all steps until Caiatl has been killed. How to fail. Killing standard bearers that do not match the projections will reduce the Nightmare collapsing timer duration. Being airborne between platforms while switching states may cause players to die unexpectedly. Caiatl and the bell keepers can easily throw players off the edge. Use mods guards in positioning to avoid this. If Caiatl reaches a bell uninterrupted, she will end the damage phase early. And during damage, any players not near a bell when it's rung will not receive its Waking Resonance buff and will only deal 10% of normal damage to Caiatl. That's your quick guide to the Duality dungeon. These strategies can be easily adjusted to fire teams of 2 players or even 1. If these super fast endgame guides are helpful, spread the word. We'll see you next time. Get raiding, Guardians.